Hi, BCWers. I'm Jordan.
I'm Brian.
And we are your co-hosts for the BCW podcast.
Now, we realize that most of our initial viewers will not be wrestling fans going in, so we wanted to make this video to inform you
Peasants
about the terms you may hear during this podcast and in the wrestling world at large.
Such as jobber. A jobber is a slang term for enhancement talent, which basically refers to newer wrestlers or even established names that are used to make other people look good. Usually done by eating pins, getting squashed, and getting absolutely obliterated in the name of making your other stars look better. Now, a level above a jobber is a mid-carder.
Mid-carders, like Jordan said, are the step above jobbers who haven't quite made it up to winning World Championship gold. They don't take all the pins, but they certainly take pins from the main eventers.
A main eventer is the cream of the crop, the one who rises to the top. They're the names that put the butts in the seats. They're the ones who, even if you aren't a wrestling fan, you'll probably know who they are, as they've ascended wrestling into just the world of pop culture in general. Names such as John Cena or The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, everybody wants to be one of these three, because it means you're getting TV time. But if you're not, that means you're in catering.
Catering is a term used in wrestling to refer to somebody not being on screen. Haven't seen him in the ring in a while, or even on camera. Can't see him out here, they must be in the back eating catering. Catering can be a result of just simply not being booked.
To book a wrestling show means to actually plan out the show. It means to plan out what matches are going on, when they're going to happen, who they're going to face, all of these factors. To be booked means that you are a part of that show. You are being booked to fight someone. If you're getting booked by a week-by-week basis, you're usually in the clear. But if you're not careful, it can generate something we in the business call heat.
Heat basically means not a good reaction. Whether that means somebody doesn't like you backstage or the audience themselves don't like you and are either booing you or just straight up not reacting. Now, heat in the booing sense can be good if you are a heel.
A heel is the bad guy, the one who is opposed to the hero, the one who will lie, cheat, and steal, who will do anything it takes to get that win. They don't care if you like him or not, because to them, they are right. But the villain needs a hero to fight, and in wrestling, that hero is known as a face.
A face, like Jordan said, is the hero to the villain. Basically just the overall good guy, kind of known as like the blue-eyed baby face, the top of morality. Now, you have your heels and your faces, and that can get a little boring at times. So sometimes you want something that's a little in between, which in wrestling we call tweeners.
A tweener is exactly as Brian just said. They're not the good guy, they're not the bad guy, they're just the guy. There's someone who at times can feel a bit more human. Someone who will do what it takes to win, but not go through so many villainous actions to do so. These are your names like your Stone Cold Steve Austins, your The Man Becky Lynch's, and historically, they have been known to get great reactions from audiences. But remember that all of these terms, hero, villain, all of these live within a world that we in wrestling call kayfabe.
Kayfabe is the fictional world in which wrestling takes place. Everything inside the ring, seen on TV, should be within the world of kayfabe. Now, we say should be because there are times in which it may not be. But the times in which it's supposed to be working, where you believe it, you're forcing the audience to believe everything you're doing, is known as a work.
Exactly as Brian said, to work means to live within the realm of kayfabe. Say if somebody got injured on screen, but they're not injured in real life, only in the world of kayfabe, we would call that injury a work, or that we're being worked. Say when they're fighting in the ring and they're throwing punches, but they're not truly trying to knock out their opponent, we would say they're working. This is how it should be, but sometimes emotions get involved and wrestling doesn't always go as planned, and that's when you enter what we call a shoot.
A shoot, like Jordan said, is basically reality, whether it's supposed to come through intentionally or not. You have instances in which somebody says a promo in which they say how they feel, and sometimes they're not supposed to. That is what we would call a shoot. A straight punch, hit somebody in the face, wasn't supposed to, that is a shoot. Now, shoots can result in a lot of things. Sometimes it makes everything a lot more realistic, makes the story better, and we love it. But there are other times in which backstage they won't love it a whole lot, and that can result in somebody getting buried.
To get buried, to be made a fool of in front of the audience, to be made to look weak, as if your offense means nothing, your finishers do nothing, as if you've been standing on something this entire time and have now been pushed off. But the opposite of getting buried is to be put over.
Being put over basically means something as simple as winning a match. But you can also be put over by losing a match. Just as long as you look good. As long as you make somebody look better than they did coming into a match or segment, that is being put over. Making yourself look good to the crowd and look credible to the audience at large. Now, being put over is a good thing. And hopefully that results in a pop.
A pop is a good reaction from the crowd, often very loud, whether it's screaming, cheering, crying, everything in between, and everything not. All of these things leading to a loud, audible reaction from the audience is what we in the business like to call a pop. Now, we hope these terms were able to help you understand a bit more about our podcast, but remember, you only really use these terms when you are a mark.
A mark is basically us. People who use these terms and really isolate themselves within the world of professional wrestling and the wrestling fandom at large and kind of hold them away from everybody else. Now, you may be a mark if you talk about wrestling nonstop, buy wrestling merchandise,
Start a wrestling podcast.
She rocked it. Okay. No, it's good. Leave it.
Leave it. We go saying again. Good thing you didn't get it, because I was going to yell at you if you got it framed. You keep killing me. We're working with amateur, sorry.